Hey guys and girls, welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Heroes. Where we left off, we had finished the tournament, we won, we got our dinner in Grand Cell. Let's go. Oh, are we going to the castle already? Just to remind you, since we're going to be staying there after the party, we won't be able to leave until morning. Let's go. Well, let's show the gatekeeper our invitation then. I don't know why I'm so nervous. Probably because we don't get invitations to big events like this very often. Hey, this castle is for Her Majesty the Queen. Unless you have official business here, you need to... Hey. Hi there. We're sorry about the other day. Oh, it's you two. You're still staying in town? Yeah, we still have some business to take care of. We have a formal invitation. So by your leave, may we pass? A formal invitation? Received directly from His Excellency the Duke. What? It's a giant! See? Right here. Written invitation. Let's see. To Zane and his team, in appreciation for your performance in the competition, you're cordially invited to a dinner party. Okay, you guys win the martial arts competition. Right, and I heard the winning team was led by a huge Eastern guy. So is that you? You got it. We would greatly appreciate your help. Makes sense. The head maid told us you'd be coming. You're missing someone. What happened to him? It's kind of impolite, I know, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it. We're the only ones coming. Ah, well, that's a pity. No matter. Please go on in. Now entering Zane and Company, victors of the martial arts competition. Open the gate. Wow, it's like the Hocking Gate, but there's something more impressive about it being part of the castle. I bet it's more solid too, since it's the royal castle. That's part of why it's impregnable. Ever since the nation was established, no enemy has ever broken through the Annenberg Wall. The capital has been ravaged by war numerous times as a result of mutinies and insurrections amongst the nobles. But even then, the castle held the rebel army at bay, protected the royal family and the refugees. Or so the stories say. Wow, that's pretty neat. Very much the sort of tale one would expect from a nation with such history. Now, welcome to Her Majesty's Grand Cell Castle. Go right on in. You'll be met by a welcoming party inside. Enjoy your evening. Thank you. Wow! You can say that again. I've never seen anything that compares to this place. It's not just pretty, it's got history. I can really feel the traditions and rules of the old kingdom here. Welcome to Grand Cell Castle. You're Zane and his team, correct? Captain Amalthea. This isn't really unexpected, but even so. That's right. We come at the invitation of the good Duke. And, you are? Pardon me. I'm Captain Kanone Amalthea of the Intelligence Division, head of Grand Cell Castle's defense. I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations for your championship victory. Watching the match was truly a spectacular experience. You're too kind, really. And may I say, I didn't know they made women as young and pretty as you into captains. You must do fine work. My, but you are the flatterer. But I'm not so young as your bracer friends. Estelle and Joshua Bright. It's been some time since the incident in Zeiss, hasn't it? Yeah, I guess it has. Quite some time. Unfortunately, the matter concerning Professor Russell is yet to be resolved. It appears that he and his granddaughter were abducted by a group of nefarious individuals. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you? I'm afraid not. We left the case up to the full-fledged bracers and came to ground cell. We never even heard the follow-up report on it. I see. That's truly a shame. Well, with the resources of the Intelligence Division, it's only a matter of time before the culprits are arrested. Have no fear on that score. What the hell's with her? Understood. We trust you to take care of the professor. Oh, absolutely. Now, we must show you to your rooms. Shay, if you would please do the honors. Yes, ma'am. See to their needs, but do not bore them with any idle chatter. Do I make myself clear? Yes, ma'am, I understand. Very good. Now, everyone, I hope you enjoy your evening. For my part, I must bid you farewell.
Now that is one fine woman.
I hate to say this, Zane, but your taste in women is crap. There's nothing fine about that fox-faced harpy. I think that might just be his favorite type of woman.
I just tend to find that woman like that turn out to be pretty good people once you peel back a few layers, so to speak.
You're hopeless. Not that it matters, but you really do sound like a dirty old man sometimes.
Oh, my honor!
Oh, sorry about that. You were supposed to show us to our room, right? Yes, please follow me. Pardon me by not saying before, but I am Shay, a maid here at the castle. I will be at your service this evening, from the dinner party until the morning. If anything is not to your satisfaction, please don't hesitate to let me know.
Thank you very much.
Will you please show us the room then? Certainly. It's on the second floor. Oh, wow. Get a load of that chandelier. Talk about classy. Hush, Estelle. What's that way? That's the throne room. Her Majesty uses it to receive personal guests. It hasn't seen much use in recent days, though. I see.
But is the Queen's condition really that bad? Isn't the birthday celebration coming up soon?
Oh, no. It's just that it's the head maid who attends to her and the royal keeper of late. I shouldn't speak on subjects about which I'm unfamiliar. Come then, shall we? These maids are really scary for some reason. This is the room where you'll be staying. Please go on in. Okay. Pardon us. Holy Stragas! I never imagined we'd ever stay in a place like this.
Nice! This'll make a good story for later.
I believe there's still some time before the party. You're free to explore the castle, but the security areas are off limits. I ask that you refrain from entering those areas. Can you be a little more specific? Most significantly, the royal keep where the queen resides. It is a small palace of sorts built on the garden terrace in the roof. Garden terrace. That sounds nice. The terrace is where Her Majesty greets the people of Gransol during the birthday celebration. So you cannot go into the royal keep itself, but you may visit the garden terrace if you like. As for the other restricted areas, there's the royal guard room, and also the treasury, I believe. The royal guard room.
I guess they're still wanted for questioning about all that terrorist stuff.
Yes. The intelligence division is currently occupying it. Entrance is restricted, so please abide by the rules. Understood. By the way, what are the others who were invited to it? They've already arrived. I imagine they're relaxing in their respective rooms. Alright. So Mayor Klaus is here too. Oh yes, he arrived some time ago. Now if you'll excuse me, I'll be off. If you need anything else, please contact the first floor waiting room. Now then. Still, Joshua exchanged a look that went unnoticed by Zane. Hey Zane, we want to go and walk around the castle for a little bit. We'll be back in time for the party.
Huh? Must be nice to be young. I'm worn out after the tournament. No problem. Have fun. Me, I'm going to kick back and relax in this oh-so-luxurious room.
We need to get as much done as we can before the party starts. First, Julia told us that we have to talk to the head maid, Hilda. I'd like to say hello to the other invitees, too. We luckily know most of them. Alright, let's do this. Hey, it's Mabel. Mayor Mabel? And Lila. Joshua Estelle. Ah, here at last. I kept wondering when you'd get here. I was practically counting the seconds. So you invited here too, Mayor. Hey, wait, you were waiting for us? How did you know we were coming? I heard from Mayor Klaus. I heard about a pair of children who entered the tournament, won the championship, and were invited to a grand royal banquet in the castle. If I'd known, I would have cancelled my appointments and come to cheer you on. Begging your pardon, ma'am, but that would have been quite impossible given the circumstances. Yes, I'm aware. I'm trying to be polite. Don't worry. I know how busy you must be. I'm sure the Queen has no time to waste at a banquet. What with everything else going on, what is Duke Dunan thinking? That captain was so stubborn about inviting me to. I had no real choice but to accept. Do you mean Captain Amalthea? Yes, that's her. Her words were polite enough, but she gave me an evil eye while she spoke them. I dared not refuse her request. I haven't heard from General Morgan in quite some time. Wait, does that mean you haven't heard any word from the Hawking Gate? The General is unavailable is the longest message I've been able to wring from them. It would seem he's busy with these anti-terrorist countermeasures, or what have you. I had hoped he'd be in attendance at this banquet tonight, but I guess he couldn't pull himself away. What do you think about all of this, Mayor? Putting mayors from every city in the same place at a time like this? Well, if the Queen were to be in attendance, I would expect some announcement of no small importance. But as it is, this feels like the Duke has too much time on his greasy, chubby hands. He's letting this position of royal proxy go to his head. That sounds about right. But there might still be some kind of official announcement, don't you think? Well, whatever may come of the night, the Grand Chef here's the best in all of the kingdom. I plan to enjoy the dinner, pay my respects to Her Majesty, and return to Boast post-haste. I don't know if it's gonna go that way, honestly, but okay.
Oh, Joshua Estelle, you made it. It's been quite a while.
Dean Collins? You invited to the banquet as well, sir?
I just arrived today via airship from Rouen. A little mayoral birdie told me you two won the tournament. Jill and everyone else will be so happy to hear it.
Thank you. I had no idea we'd be seeing you here, Dean Collins.
Dean Collins is a member of the Royal Assembly and a man of great respect and liberal. It's only fitting he'd be given a seat at this banquet. A man of great respect, he says. You flatter me, Mayor.
What's the Royal Assembly? It's a meeting held once per year to address matters affecting the kingdom. The Queen, mayors of every city, and other representatives all come together to try solving various problems of state. Wow, sounds big. So all of those guys have been invited here tonight, too?
No, I'd say only about half. Her Majesty is still ill, and General Morgan is away on official business. Mayor Dalmore of Rouen was arrested in that nasty affair. And Professor Russell, he's a bit too entrenched and too many unknown right now. We don't know how true all this talk of the Royal Guardsmen being involved in some underground terrorist organization is. Hardly the time to be holding a feast at all, if you ask me. Well, we can use this chance to see where Duke Dunan stands on all of these issues. We need his permission to have an audience with Her Majesty regardless. Yes, that's the biggest issue here, without a doubt. Barring us from seeing Her Majesty is the height of idiocy and mismanagement. I would like to pay my respects to Princess Claudia as well, but it's the same story.
Princess Claudia? The Queen's granddaughter, right? Does she live here in the castle?
No, it's my understanding her actual residence is elsewhere. But I'm told she's come to the capital as of a few days ago.
She's here then? I'd really love to meet her.
I'm sure you'll have a chance.
Claudia. Who's here? Empty room. Okay. What was the other thing we had to do? Oh, find the maid. Unless there's more on this side. There is.
Estelle, Joshua.
Mr. Murdoch, I thought you might be here. With mayoral class individuals on the guest list, we had a feeling you might also be in attendance.
Must say, I never expected you two to win the tournament championship and end up hobnobbing in Grenzel Castle. Cassius kids to the bone, you are.
Took more than our upbringings to get here. Lots of people helped along the way. So it's been a few days. Have there been any developments?
Well, right after you left for the capital, Captain Amalthea from the intelligence division came knocking. She forced me to come to this banquet, but I kept my mouth shut about Leiston Fortress. Professor Russell and company are still on the run, too. Army hasn't found them yet, but the longer we keep this up, the less chance they have. It's really only a matter of time. I asked Captain Amalthea if I could see Her Majesty and wish her well, but no luck. I was flat out refused. So in other words, we definitely aren't going to be able to do this the easy way.
We sure aren't. Don't you worry, because we've totally got that covered. We will get the Professor's message to Her Majesty, one way or another. We will. We can do it. Empty. Bar. Oh wow, check that out. This must be the castle's garden terrace. I'd say so. You can see the whole lake from here, and it overlooks the town too. Must be great for reconnaissance. As nice as this is, we really don't have time to stop and enjoy it. We've got a job to do. Nippers. We gotta find this maid. And they said that she takes care of the frickin'... Oh, this must be the royal keep.
Who are you?
Hey, you two. We're here as guests of the Duke. Is this where Her Majesty lives?
Of course it is. But for the last few days, she hasn't been feeling so well. She's not seeing anyone right now.
Oh, you got it all wrong. We weren't even thinking of that. I just thought it would be amazing if she were to even take notice of us. Does Princess Claudia sleep here as well?
No, it's just... Hey, the princess is focused on looking after Her Majesty. Neither of them has time to deal with the likes of you.
Might I inquire as to what's going on here?
Madam, we didn't know you were back already.
The dinner party will be starting soon. So I will be returning to the maid quarters. And who are our guests?
They're from the team that won the martial arts competition. It's only because of that victory that someone of a Bracer's social standing would ever be invited here.
A Bracer's social standing? Such discourtesy! You would insult those who were personally invited to the royal castle.
No, that's not what...
Those invited by the Duke should be treated with all the respect due to those invited by Her Majesty. I sincerely hope you have not forgotten that.
Understood.
Wow, she's intense. I wonder who she is.
But madam, we can't just allow them to pass. Surely you understand the reason that the Colonel laid out.
Yes, and I'm quite tired of hearing them repeated to me. I'm terribly sorry, sir and madam. Security has been heightened, and as such the royal keep and its surroundings are off limits. But may I ask, would you mind waiting in your room until the dinner party begins? Alright. That's fine. We'll do as you ask. I apologize. We weren't trying to cause any trouble.
Fine then, just don't let it happen again. Safe return to you.
I apologize that you were subjected to such dreadful behavior. My name is Hilda. I'm the head maid of Grenzel Castle, and I oversee all of the housekeeping duties. Aha. We had a feeling. Forgive my rudeness, but are we previously acquainted? Well now, someone told us about you. I know this handwriting. You see? We also have our bracer emblems and identifications with us. I see. Please come with me to the main sitting room. We can discuss the matter further once we are there. I understand. You need to deliver Professor Russell's message to Her Majesty, correct? Right. If now's not a good time, we can try later, but no, it's not an issue. Those special ops men have had the royal keep under constant surveillance for some time now. Only the Duke, the Colonel, and hired attendants such as myself are allowed in. Which means that a private audience is probably a no-go. What do you think, Estelle? We could ask Hilda to relay the Professor's message to Her Majesty. No, I'd really rather speak to her face-to-face. There are just too many particulars we don't know that we'd really need to discuss directly. Like what Duke Dunan and Colonel Richard are after? Estelle, Joshua, I have a bit of an idea. Could I get you to return here once the dinner party is over? Why? Have you thought of a way for us to see Her Majesty? I believe I have. It may be difficult, but I think it's worth a try. I'm going to need some time to get ready, so you can come back after the dinner party. Awesome. Understood. We'll be back then. I'll be waiting. Food prep is done, so I think we'll begin serving shortly. For now, it's probably best if you wait in your room. Okay. How do I get back to my room? I'm lost. Oh, okay. Not so lost. It's this way. This room, right? There we go.
Hey guys, talk about being late. The party's about to start, you know.
Sorry. We got so caught up sightseeing that we lost track of time. Plus, we also talked to all the mayors.
Huh? Aren't we well connected?
We're close friends with the Mayor Roland. Plus, we've met the other mayors in the course of our travels.
Oh, I see. Guess your work as bracers has caused you to meet quite a few big shots. Too sure get around for junior bracers.
Yeah, you might say that. Have you done any bracer assignments since we came to Grensaw? I guess it's not all that different in other countries, right?
Right. For a full-fledged bracer, nationality isn't an issue when it comes to your work. The prelim fights and legal procedures at the embassy kept me too busy to get any actual work done, though. But hey, there are 4 other bracers on duty too, which isn't so bad.
Normally that would be enough to handle most cases, I'd imagine. But with all of them concentrated on Grensaw, that must make it tough to handle any cases in other regions.
Yeah, could be.
I feel like a goose just walked over my grave. I wonder what's going on with Scarabek and Roland.
Now that name rings a bell. You wouldn't happen to be talking about Scarazard, would you?
You know her? She's our mentor. She's been a close friend for ages.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. I met her a long time ago, when a case brought her to Calvard. She was fortunate to have a good master working with her from such a young age.
Her master? Yeah, probably dead. Huh. Please pardon me, the table for the dinner party has been set. May I show you the way?
Sure, I was getting bored with waiting anyhow. Alright, wanna go eat fancy?
Sure, that's right. Left me starving. Let's go dig in. Come on, you two. It would be nice if you two didn't completely forget your table manners for once. This is a dinner party, right? What's with all the empty plates, then? Plenty of knives and forks, though. That's because it's a formal dinner party. Everything comes out in a specific order, starting with hors d'oeuvres. Then you use the knives and forks from the outside in. And that's all part of having good table manners. And here comes the anxiety attack. It's really not so bad. It does mean that you get to have some of the finest food available. Manners and etiquette are secondary.
Indeed, indeed. Until that you're acquainted with everyone who will be attending, no need to get stressed out.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Please don't encourage her. On that note, is the gentleman accompanying you going to be okay with a knife and fork? I'm told that folks from the East usually eat with chopsticks.
You've done your research. However, I'm a firm believer in the when in liberal. Do as the... I'm a firm believer in the when in liberal, do as the Liberalians do policy. I'm not especially skilled with them, but I will use a knife and fork.
My, how elegantly handled. I'm impressed. You're as much a gentleman as you are a martial arts champion.
You flatter me.
Boy, he really is a complete sucker for a pretty face.
I think he's more being polite than a leech, though. A lech. Anyway, who's that? His Excellency is really late. Wonder what he's up to. Indeed. So if the seat at head of the table is for the Duke, then who might that other one be for? Indeed. Perhaps it is intended for Princess Claudia? Your attention, ladies and gentlemen. My humblest apologies for the long delay. Presenting His Excellency, the Duke.
Oh, and Richard and What's-Her-Face.
Well then, I must apologize for making you wait so. I'm afraid that I was in a meeting from which I simply could not break away. This gentleman is Colonel Richard, commanding officer of the Royal Intelligence Division. I've invited him here to thank him for his tireless efforts in helping to deal with the terrorist situation.
It's a pleasure to meet you all. I was quite gratified to be invited to this occasion by our honorable Duke. I ask that you pardon my uncouth soldier's uniform and allow me to sit with you. So that's what the chair is for. You've got to be kidding. We're having dinner with him. I suspected this might happen, but it's still unnerving.
Delicious food. Excellent, excellent. What say you, Mayor Maybell? What do you think of Grenzel Castle's master chef? Is his cooking not on par with that Femme and Bose's Anti-Rose restaurant?
Yes, it's quite remarkable. The wine selection also perfectly complements the meal. I almost want to try hiring him away.
You're not the first to say such things. What have you, Zane? Wasn't it... And what have you, Zane, wasn't it? Is the food to your liking? Oh, it's excellent. I don't have the words to describe the sense of refinement and depth. I certainly believe I could develop a real taste for Liberalian cuisine. Good, good. I'm glad to hear it. And you, young bracers, I imagine you've never experienced such fine food in your life before.
It's extremely delicious. Far more worthy of being associated with the royal family than the person who invited us.
Indeed, it is a genuine treat.
It's certainly delicious food, and we couldn't miss a chance to attend so prestigious an event as this. Thank you very much for your gracious invitation.
Very kind of you to say. I do finally remember what my butler has been telling me about. We met before during the Rouen incident. Perhaps our fates are linked in some bizarre fashion.
Yes, sir. Maybe so. So he'd forgotten all about us until his butler reminded him?
Come, let us put social class and ranks aside for the evening. Food is abundant and the wine flows freely, so enjoy to your heart's content. Your Excellency,
if we could, I'd like to do as we discussed first.
Oh yes, that's a fine idea. I actually have something important to say to you fine folks who represent the king. I use this celebration as the place to make an important announcement.
An announcement?
And what might that be? I believe I will allow Colonel Richard to explain in detail.
Thank you.
As you are, no doubt already aware, Her Majesty has been in poor health of late. However, she has been recovering and may grace us with a public appearance soon. Oh, that's excellent news.
Could we possibly go and check in on her?
Unfortunately, she does not consider that to be a wise decision at the moment. Within a few days, it seems likely that the terrorists plaguing the kingdom will be swept away. In light of that, the Queen's birthday celebration will be held as originally planned. Well, sir, the citizens will surely be happy to hear this news, as they have been looking forward to it. But surely, that is not all you wish to tell us. Right. If that were all, you could have just sent along a message.
Indeed, you are correct. Her Majesty is continuing to recover, as was previously stated. However, given the gravity of her condition, she has also issued a proclamation. Due to her tenuous health, she has stated that she wishes to abdicate the throne and turn over royal authority to her nephew, Duke Dunant.
What?
Is this true? Joshua, this is... Yeah, the conspiracy finally makes its appearance.
I was surprised when Her Majesty first broached the subject as well, but her illness has left her quite frail. But it is only natural. She has ruled the kingdom for 40 years, leading it through times of strife and war, all without a husband, might I add. Given that, I wish to relieve her of the stress of her duties following the festival's successful conclusion. As the heir to the throne, the decisions are mine to make.
How terrible. Is Her Majesty's condition truly that severe? I'm ashamed that I've never noticed any signs in any of my annual visits.
Isn't this far too serious a matter to discuss at what is supposedly a casual dinner? Pardon my rudeness, but this all seems to stretch credulity. I can't speak. Mayor Mabel, are you saying that you cannot take His Excellency at his word? No, nothing of the sort. I simply mean that as an elected official, I don't understand why the successor to the throne can't be elected in the same fashion.
That's true. If possible, I'd like to hear this directly from Her Majesty.
Your unease is quite understandable, but we do ask that you try to maintain your composure and allow us to continue. As mentioned earlier, I believe Her Majesty will give a formal announcement herself during the festival. Could you be persuaded to shelve your doubts until then?
Well,
the issue is basically this. Once this becomes common knowledge, we cannot know how the citizens will react. This is why we're telling the leaders first, to help stave off any chaos or public disorder before it happens. This was also the decision of His Excellency.
well, yes, this is true.
Also, the Queen's abdication of the throne will have international repercussions.
The other nations on the continent will have their eyes on us, and we must be watchful for any action on the part of the Erebonians. Surely you can see why it is necessary to show unified support for the new king. This is the world in which we are going to be living.
He makes it all sound so rational.
Yeah, he's quite the master manipulator. In other words, the official decree will be given during the birthday celebration. But you thought it would be best to inform us first, so that we can be prepared for any issues that may arise, correct?
I'm glad to see that we have an understanding.
If this all comes to pass, we're going to find ourselves quite busy.
Yes, we'll have to announce it to the citizens.
I have a question. I believe that the Duke has a fair claim to the throne. However, is there not another who also has the same right of succession?
Well,
no doubt you're referring to Her Majesty's granddaughter, Princess Claudia. It is true that she and His Excellency have an equal claim to the throne, but it would appear that Her Majesty did not choose her due to her tender age. And I must say I agree with her wisdom in this matter. I should hardly like to impose such responsibility upon a girl so young.
Yes, absolutely. For the time being, I believe it would be best for Claudia to find a fine marriage prospect. Though it is strictly informal, there is already interest from the royal families of a number of other nations. Perhaps a royal wedding could take place as soon as this year?
Oh my.
I understand. If that happens, then we'll have two major events to celebrate. I honestly think she's a bit young for her marriage. Excuse me, may I ask a question?
Zane?
I don't mind, speak freely. Sorry to seem rude, but this doesn't sound like the kind of conversation you'd want outsiders hearing. Particularly a foreigner. So how come you're making this announcement now?
This is solely because of the serendipitous turn of events that allowed Bracers to win the championship. We had wanted to inform the guild of this in advance as well. I've already discussed the idea with Her Majesty.
Gotcha. I guess Liberal's military and Bracers are on just as good terms as the stories say.
That is because we lack the military strength of the Empire or the Republic. The harsh reality is that keeping close relations with each other is a must. In any event, do you now understand our intentions?
Yeah, alright. We'll pass on what we've learned here to the guild then. Man, I've heard some pretty unbelievable conversations in my time, but that was something else. I mean, I'm a foreigner after all, so it's not that big a deal to me. I bet that was huge news for you guys.
Of course it was. Can't believe things have gone this far already.
Huh?
Never mind. Really, what a shame. That food was so amazing, and it practically melted in the mouth. You couldn't tell what the last flavor was, though. Understandable enough. But anyway, did you want to go for a walk? To work off some of that rich food and stuff? Huh? Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I could go for a little bit of fresh air.
You just played tourist a little while ago, and now you want to take a nap after dinner? Well, I sure don't get it. Must be a local thing.
I think you're exaggerating a little bit.
We haven't gone out to take in the sights. There's a lot of historic architecture around here, you know.
If the mood hits me, I may still give it a shot. On the other hand, the kitchen may still have some food left over.
You gotta be kidding. You're still hungry?
If you had a blade to my throat, my dying wish would be for some liquor and a snack. I might go and hunt up a bar or something in a little bit.
Alright, so we gotta go see the maid. Things have gotten serious. We really have to find a way to get in to see Her Majesty.
First things first, we go talk to the head maid, Hilda, like we promised. She probably knows a way for us to speak directly to the Queen.
Fine by me.
Alright, the maid quarters. Which is on,
Oh, it's you.
What?
Colonel Richard. Estelle and Joshua. This is our first opportunity to truly speak face to face, I believe. The last time we saw one another was right after Mayor Dalmor was arrested, wasn't it? I'm honestly surprised that you remember us. I realized that we exchanged few words, but you made quite an impression on me. My curiosity was piqued, so I did a bit of checking up on you. I was quite surprised to learn that you were the children of Colonel Cassius.
How'd you find that out?
Please understand, I'm not trying to show off the Intelligence Division's capabilities. I'm greatly indebted to him from our time together in the Army. Indeed, more than words can properly express. Might I persuade you to stay a while and talk? I've been hoping to speak with you two for quite some time.
Huh?
But pardon me, Colonel, but don't you have a meeting with His Excellency? I don't mind being a bit late. Ah yes, if we're going to talk, why don't we use the lounge inside? I'll mix you up a couple of virgin cocktails.
I'll prepare them, sir.
No, that won't be necessary. I want you to go to His Excellency and inform him that I'll be delayed. Yes, sir.
Why is she so mad?
Pardon me, then.
What the hell? She's so weird.
Now then, shall we retire to the lounge? Please, follow me.
Joshua, what should we do?
I don't see where we have much choice but to follow. We'll be a little late, but we can talk to the head maid later. I met Cassius shortly after I graduated from Military Academy. I was assigned to a mobile unit that was under his command, and since that time, I found myself in his debt again and again, both personally and professionally. Sorry guys, a little bit of the scene kind of skipped a bit.
He's talking about his old days with Cassius, pretty much.
Anytime I get to talking about those days, time just runs away with me. But this much I can tell you. If Cassius Bright had not been part of the Royal Army, Liberl would now be part of the Erebonian Empire.
No way. That's kind of hard to believe.
Well, as a hero, he had a knack for doing unbelievable things. He left the army immediately after the war, declining even a medal from the Queen. So few know of his achievements. But inside the army, many soldiers still hold him up as the prime example of what a hero should be.
He never said one word about any of this to me.
Well, it's not really the kind of thing you tell your daughter about. It's not fair to criticize him for that.
Hey, whose side are you on? Besides, why doesn't any of this shock you like it shocks me? Did you already know about all of this or something?
Well, I didn't know that he was Colonel Richard's superior officer. The rest I knew about, vaguely.
Vaguely? You're an accomplice?
Hey, calm down. It's not like he told me any of it. I just figured a lot of it out. He told me he didn't feel it was something worth going out of his way to tell others about. I just don't get it. When he comes back, he is so in trouble. Please excuse us. We didn't mean to interrupt. No. Seeing you like this is actually a bit of a relief. When I found out that your father was intending to leave the military, I desperately tried to stop him. But it seems that by leaving, he did what was best for himself after all. After losing his dear wife, maybe being with you was all that could help him recover.
Colonel Richard. Now then, I thank you for taking the time to come here. I really can't keep the Duke waiting, so I'm afraid you'll have to excuse me. Oh, all right. Our apologies for making you so late. Not at all. You both have told me the one thing I wanted most to know. And thus I have no regrets. Huh? How's that again? I'm sure we'll have a chance to speak again soon. Cassius might even be with us then, to share in the stories. Okay, who was that man, and what has he done with Colonel Richard? What are you babbling about now? It's just that it's weird to hear him talking about Dad that way. I wasn't expecting him to be so, well, nice. True, he doesn't seem at all that villainous anyway. Even so, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that he's got something up his sleeve. For now, we should probably put the issue of Dad aside. Yeah, I guess you're right. I hate to say it, but I think that he might have been playing nice just because he could get something out of it. He's an intelligent officer, so he probably thinks that fooling a couple of kids is as easy as it could be. Don't you think that's going a little too far? You might be right. Let me be the one who's mistrustful of others. You should just follow your instincts and believe whatever you think is right. Huh? But just make sure you're prepared for anything. Don't let your guard down. I'd say a bracer's job is pretty much that, in fact. Okay, I got it. I'll keep it in mind. Thank you, Estelle. Thank you? What the heck are you thanking me for? Anyway, we need to go back and see Hilda. She's probably sick of waiting for us. Yeah, she should be in the maid's quarters. Maid's quarters, where's that?
Always getting super lost.
Wasn't the maid's quarters like on this level? I could have sworn it was over here somewhere. There was a room for it then? Couldn't have been wrong about There you are. I've been waiting for you. You're awfully late, aren't you? Sorry about that. We kinda got caught by Colonel Richard. Did you know? He had something to tell us about our dad. I don't think he has any idea what we're up to, though. I see. Ah, yes, the letter of introduction did mention that you were Mr. Cassius's children. I can understand at least some of how Colonel Richard feels. Oh, do you know our dad, too? He used to come here when he worked as General Morgan's aide-de-camp. I'm told that he was a school friend of the late Princess, Her Majesty's son. Late Prince? Princess Claudia's father. Princess Claudia's father. Yes, he was killed 15 years ago in a tragic shipwreck. But that he were still alive today, none of this would have been happening. Huh? But lamenting what might have been is a fool's errand. Evening is fast approaching. We must make our preparations at once. Come on in, Shay. Oh, hey, aren't you Shay, right? Yes, thank you for remembering. You look well still, Joshua. I've been told of your current predicament. You won't find a more dependable child. She's a great help to us whenever the princess is in the castle. Princess Claudia. That shouldn't pose a problem. Thank you. If you're ready, you should go change into your uniforms. The ribbons and the headpiece are tricky, so I'll adjust them for you. What? What do you mean? Estelle's going to need to dress as one of the maids in order to get into the royal keep. A little playing with the hair and you'll blend right in. Oh, I get it. Uniforms don't allow for much in the way of personalization. That should be ideal for sneaking in. Huh? Me in a maid's outfit. I've been wanting to try one on since we first met Lila. Cute, breezy, and easy to move in. If our uniforms weren't easy to move in, they'd make the cleaning much more difficult. I thought so. Well, let's get this sucker on me. Why so excited? I'm glad you're in high spirits, but you need to remember your manners in front of the queen. You won't have me to lean on this time. Why not? You're changing too, aren't you? Pardon? I mean, he did play the princess during the play at the campus festival. Is there really that much of a difference between a fancy dress and a maid outfit? That's different. It was a play. I can't appear before Her Majesty in women's clothes. Oh, you'll be fine. It's not at all shameful or anything. Besides, you made such a gorgeous princess. Not this again. Cut the jokes, will you? Hilda, Shay, help me out here. Say something. They're really good. Anyone? I see. That shouldn't pose a problem. Shay, don't you have that extra hairpiece designed for the princess? Yes, it's never been used though. He has that full dark hair, so it would probably look good on him. Hey, hold on a second. Well, it looks like a 3-to-1 vote. Majority rules. This way, please. We can use the census changer. Wait a minute. I don't remember ever agreeing to changing. Alright. If I have to change, I can do it myself. Shay, you're not planning on using makeup too, are you? Kids these days. Oh, look at us. Oh my. Ta-da! What do you think? I think it suits her very well. Such a bright, active maid in training. After only just coming to the castle too, you certainty have me convinced. And with the hair down like that, no one will be any the wiser. Perhaps you'd like to work at Grainsell Castle for real when this is all settled. Well, we already work as bracers, so anyway. Come on, Joshua, get out here. No chance I can talk you out of this. None at all. You're just making this take longer. Fine. Impossible sometimes. Look at him. Jeez. Why does he look make her such a beautiful woman? Wow, it's almost frightening how good that looks. Isn't it awesome? It looks better on him than it does on me, and I'm an actual girl. A bit of makeup can make all the difference in the world. Please, just say you're done. Well, I suppose so. I'll show you the way to the royal keep. You need to make certain you watch me and learn how a maid handles herself. Yes, ma'am. Go. We're finally gonna meet the queen in person. Yeah. This is the do or die moment. We just have to stay focused and get to the royal keep. It's hard to take you seriously in that outfit. Well, excuse me. This was your idea. I can't believe you got the nerve to pick on it. Sorry. Don't get all mad. I'll treat you to some ice cream later, okay? I'm not like you. I'm not obsessed with food. Hey, I'm not obsessed with food. They get along so well, don't they? We're out of time. Let's go to the royal keep. Those maids, though. I'm playing as the maid lady. Okay.
There's currently an important meeting being held in the audience chamber.
Okay, that's not where I'm going. My bad. Going this way. Are we going this way? I don't remember. Yeah, okay. No, never mind. This way. This way. Up here. This way.
Hilda, what business do you have with Her Majesty at this hour?
I'm bringing some tea and spoons at her request. The current situation means that Her Majesty is denied the right to even go about her daily life as she wishes after all.
Such harsh words. Where are these maids with you? I don't recognize them.
His Excellency ordered me to hire on some additional staff to help. They've only just arrived at the castle today.
Really now? Hey, you're pretty cute.
Thank you.
Huh? Why do I get the feeling we've met before?
Crap. Do you stare so hard at every young lady you see? I do hope you're not thinking any untoward thoughts. I'd rather think that His Excellency and the Colonel would disapprove.
Hey, it's not like that. We're the elite of the Royal Army. We wouldn't do that.
All's well then. Now, will you please allow us to pass?
Pardon us, ladies. Please go ahead.
Phew, that was intense. Thanks, Hilda. You're a real lifesaver. Yeah, that was really well done. I'm just glad I could help. Now then, are you planning to change your clothes before going to see Her Majesty? If you prefer, I can just show you the way now. I think I'm okay as is.
Boy clothes, now.
For the love of... Why are you always so self-conscious? What was wrong with what you had on? It's not an issue of self-consciousness. By the way, Hilda, is this room what I think it is? Yes, it is Princess Claudia's bedroom. But she rarely sleeps in the castle, so the room is all but unused. Huh? No kidding. But I heard that the princess was turned into the queen. I guess that's just gossip then. You'd have to ask Her Majesty for the full details. Her room is on the second floor of the royal keep. I'll take you there. Can I not do that? I want... Oh, okay, fine. Why would I have to control Hilda still? That's weird. Okay. I beg your pardon, Your Majesty. I've brought the two I spoke of before. This is Joshua and Estelle. Thank you, kindly. By all means, enter. As you wish. I'll wait for you here. You two go on in. Right. Pardon us. Oh. I bid you welcome. My name is Alicia van Oslis. I'm the 26th monarch of the nation of Liberal. I'm Estelle Bright. I'm a junior bracer of the Bracer Guild. And I'm Joshua Bright of the same affiliation. It is a great honor to meet you, Your Majesty. Estelle and Joshua, I have truly been looking forward to meeting you both. I regret that I cannot offer you proper hospitality, but I have prepared some tea. Please have some and relax. I see. So Professor Russell asked you to bring this information. A pitch-black ornament capable of negating all other orbital energies. And you say that the Colonel has acquired it. The Professor told us that you might have some idea of what he intends to do with it, Your Majesty. Can you tell us anything? I have but a vague idea, but I did not think that the Colonel even knew of it. Perhaps I'm worrying about nothing, but even so. Excuse me, but what is this vague idea you have? I suppose there is no harm in telling you. Roughly 10 years ago, a massive orbital reaction was detected beneath Grand Cell. Professor Russell was the individual who came to investigate. Did this happen in the vicinity of the sewers? No, far deeper underground than that, in fact. Professor Russell was under the impression that it might be a relic of the ancient that still functioned. Wow. So it was a bona fide artifact then. Most artifacts I know of have lost their function, like the mechanism on top of the tower. But every now and again, you find one that still functions, like Mayor Dalmore's family heirloom. And something like that is beneath Grancel. So what does that tell us about the gospel? Maybe it could be used to halt the artifact's functions? Could it do that? Yes. However, we were unable to establish the nature of the artifact, or indeed why it was buried beneath the city. But it is beyond my imagining how the Colonel could know of its existence. Professor Russell's research on it was kept strictly confidential and off the record. I see. In any event, it seems likely that trouble is on the way. Honestly, just as I start to think maybe the Colonel might be a slightly nicer guy than we were giving him credit for. But when someone's trying to stir up some trouble, that's when us bracers come in. We won't let him get away with whatever evil scheme he's trying to pull off. I'd expect no less from Cassius's daughter. You're acquainted with our father, Your Majesty? He was a friend of my late son's and a great savior to the nation. Even after he retired from the army, he would sometimes undertake requests for me. Really? I didn't know that. I imagine that there are a great many things about him that you do not know, including the precise role he played in the war 10 years ago. I assume you have not been told? Well, nothing super detailed. Perhaps then that is the role that I am meant to play. Estelle, Joshua, will you indulge me by listening to an old story? Oh yes, absolutely. It is no indulgence, Your Majesty. 10 years ago, in the spring, a tragedy occurred in the southern reaches of the Erebonian Empire. Its cause is yet unknown, so that is something I must omit. The Empire used that event as a pretext for their invasion of Liberal. So began the sad times that would become known as the 100 Days War. Just as the Empire made its declaration of war, a massive military force breached the Haken Gate. In what seemed like scant moments, all of Liberal became occupied territory save for Grancel. It is said the invasion force was 3 times the size of the entire royal army. The reinforcements from Calvard were too late to stop their advance. It was but a matter of time before Grancel too would fall. But 2 months after the outbreak of hostilities, the war changed in a way that none could have imagined. Patrol airships had just been developed. They were used to recapture Liberals' checkpoints, severing the Imperial Army's communications. The Royal Army then set about recapturing the major regions, one by one, using ships launched from Leiston Fortress, Zeiss, Rouen, Beauce, Roland. With their supply lines severed, the Erebonian forces occupying each region were swiftly crushed. And the one behind this plan for a counteroffensive was none other than one Colonel Cassius Bright. It was your father who was General Morgan's right-hand man at the time, as well as Colonel Richard's superior officer. Afterward, with the intercession of the Bracer Guild and the Septium Church, the war was brought to an end. But it was at this time that Cassius lost what he treasured most in all the world. Lena, your mother, Estelle. That clock tower was destroyed in the Imperial Army's vain attempts to hold back the counteroffensive. What followed, I am sure you know. Cassius was not even able to be by his wife's side in her final moments. No, I had no idea. And he believed that the military operation that he himself had planned effectively caused her death. Blaming himself, he left the military and took up the path of the Bracer, all to stay with the only one he had left. You. And this time he swore he would be able to protect those he loved. Dad, that idiot. It wasn't his fault that Mom died. How could he even think that? Estelle. Yes, you are correct. Given that all he's lost was in service to his country, the responsibility falls upon me. So I'm sorry, Estelle. I failed to protect your mother. I have wished to apologize to you for a long time. But you don't need to apologize. You've protected the peace of this country ever since the war ended. The peace that Dad and all the other soldiers who defended Liberal and the war fought so hard to protect. and the peace that Mom gave her life so I could live in it. You have nothing to be sorry for.
Estelle, you have a kind heart, and I'm grateful. It gladdens my heart to have finally met you in person. Now, more than ever.
Your Majesty.
However, that is why I do not wish you to put yourself in danger. I would like for you to remove yourself from any dealings with this matter.
What? But Julia, I mean Lieutenant Schwartz asked us to help you.
I thank you. I am grateful for your willingness to do so. But if some tragedy were to befall you in Cassius's absence, I know of no apology that could ever suffice. I ask only that you go back to your home in Roland and wait for your father to return.
But...
If I may, Your Majesty, the peace that Dad restored, and that you protect, though it has held firm, now trembles like a leaf in the breeze. Joshua, if the Colonel is able to use the gospel for whatever purpose he intends, and if he succeeds in making the Duke the new King of Liberl, then what will become of that peace? I ask only that you consider that.
Your Majesty, right when we became junior bracers, we inherited a whole lot of work from Dad. After the Sky Bandit incident, we got that letter in the package, and we've been running all around creation ever since. It feels to us like our dad's been nudging us in the back this whole time. That's why I want to defend peace. Peace. So that everyone we've met and everyone we care about can go on living secure and happy lives, just like you. And just like Mom and Dad, I'm doing this because it's what I believe is right, and I really want to see it through.
Estelle, it seems she was right about you.
Huh?
I too am ready. I would like for the two of you to carry my request to the Bracer Guild.
Your Majesty.
My liege, we will do whatever you ask. My request is for the Bracer Guild to rescue those being held captive by the Intelligence Division. Amongst them is my granddaughter, Claudia.
Ha. So the princess is being held captive somewhere.
Yes. This coup d'etat started when I backed her as the successor to the throne. In other words, Duke Junon was out of the running. Yes. Though he is my nephew, he is possessed of a considerable number of character flaws. In brief, where he is lacking, my granddaughter shines. For the sake of this nation's future, I would have my granddaughter succeed me.
Well, I don't actually know her, but I personally lean toward the idea that your judgment should really be trusted here.
No matter the era, there will always be those who object strongly to a woman wielding political power. Not to mention the memory of the invasion by a larger power is still relatively fresh. Some of them will perceive a succession of 2 consecutive queens to be a sign of weakness. It is hardly surprising that such a notion has taken root in the minds of some. Some, including Colonel Richard, I presume. Quite right. Claudia's pending succession to the throne caught him quite unaware. That, along with his passing of this information to the Duke, is what led to this coup. This was all staged so that Liberl would become a strong military power, with the Colonel ruling from the shadows. I see. That finally lets us see the whole picture.
So if Liberl became a militarized country, what would happen then?
A great many things. Taxes would be levied to fill the war chests. Herbal weaponry would be developed with the express intent of causing havoc on a massive scale. A wide-ranging policy of conscription would be adopted, and no doubt contracting the Jaeger Corps would be made legal, which is not the case at present.
Oh no.
Indeed, the Colonel has made very adamant requests that I enact such policies. I thought that such proposals were born out of genuine love for his country, but I never agreed that they were the right course of action to take. The Royal Army is not all that protects this land. We have worked hard to maintain treaties with other countries. Defending a nation goes hand in hand with free cultural exchange and trade with all other nations to the benefit of all. I feel the same way, Your Majesty.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
The Colonel, however, finds such notions to be womanly and foolishly idealistic, and so he demanded that I abdicate the throne in exchange for Claudia's safe return. Many people have had family members taken to ensure that
they would not dare to oppose the Colonel. But I am the Queen, and I will not allow all that I love about my country to be destroyed simply because of blood ties. Still, she is my only granddaughter. I cannot simply allow her to die. Your Majesty, please try to relax. We hear and comply with your requests. We will see to it that the princess is rescued from those who have imprisoned her. Thank you, both of you. With that reassurance, I will do all I can to oppose the Colonel's demands. Have you any other requests, Your Majesty? The gospel still has to be dealt with, and I don't think we should just leave you here. I appreciate your sentiment, Miss Val, but the present state of affairs is not contingent upon my freedom or imprisonment. The gospel shall continue to weigh heavily on my mind for a great many reasons. For my part, I will attempt to ascertain the Colonel's true intentions with it. Wow, that was totally awesome. Super nice, but with a seriously strong will. I hope I'm even 1/10 that cool when I get old. Cool. Did you actually just call the Queen that? Still, she definitely has what it takes to govern a whole country. Yeah, I really want to stop this coup thingy and help her. That's definitely outside of Bracer jurisdiction. But first things first, we do whatever we can. Right. But you know, I'm still freaking out about the Queen and us, about Dad. I wonder if she's got any more tidbits she'd be willing to share. Estelle and Joshua, have you finished changing? Oh yeah. Then we should return to the waiting room at once. It's already after 11 o'clock. Actually, it's almost midnight. Whoa, is it really that late? The Queen spoke with us for a long time. If we stay any longer, it's up to make the guards suspicious. Alright. I'm gonna end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you all on the next part. Are you going home for the day, Miss Hilda? Yes, I believe so. Just be sure not to do Her Majesty any further discourtesy.
That's not fair. But please relax. We are patrons to the court.
That's good to hear. I believe that we shall be on our way. Pardon me. By your leave. By the way, ladies.
I don't think we ever got your names. May I ask them?
Dorothy.
That's a very modern name. Pardon my saying so, but it just doesn't sound right for you.
Ain't that the truth?
How about you, miss?
You may call me Karen.
Karen, you say? That's a very pretty name.
You're too kind, sir. I'm rather fond of it myself.
Are you now? Oh, right. We're with the Special Ops. My name is...
I think that's just about enough. Since an ulterior motive at work.
No, I mean, at least not from us. Please, be safe on your way home.
Alright. Leave a like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff.